Well, doctors call them repetitive motion injuries, but you know them as sore muscles and tendinitis, even nerve damage. They're among the most common injuries in this country, affecting millions of people, and they're made worse, those injuries, by repetitive actions of daily living. Simple everyday actions like throwing a ball, scrubbing a floor, jogging can lead to this condition. Dr. Mark Kaye from the Department of Orthopedic Surgery at Shands is here this morning to talk about these injuries that you may be dealing with right now. And we're talking about, again, tendinitis, sore muscles, and you mentioned nerve damage too, right?
Correct, that is correct. A lot of people, when they work, let's say over the computer terminal, they're hunched over, their neck is down, and their arms are not in the correct positioning. And that can lead to tendinitis, overuse of muscles, and also pressure on the nerves that we might see, such as carpal tunnel syndrome.
And the problem is too, is when you're dealing with this pain, and a lot of people deal with it and just kind of try to ignore it for years and years and years, but it makes you not want to do things, okay? Instead of dealing with the problem, it makes you avoid activities, doesn't it, in some cases?
That is correct. And our job is not really to prevent you from doing your activities, but actually promote you to do your activities, have more of a pain-free life.
So how do you do it? Where do you start when you're talking about things like tendinitis and sore muscles?
Well, one of the key factors is posturing. It's the way we hold our bodies, and there's a muscle balance. And some of those muscles get used more than the other when you're out of balance, or you use those muscles even more. And our bodies aren't made to overuse them so much, such as with tendinitis too much use. If you text too much, you might get thumb pain.
That's afflicting a lot of us, yeah, texting too much.
Or even pressure on the hands, you can get a carpal tunnel-like symptoms.
Posture, so what do you mean when you say that? I mean, do you mean like recorrecting, you know, sitting up straight? I mean, what are you talking about, and how do you do it? Because once you get used to sitting a certain way or sitting at the desk a certain way, I mean, it's hard to change that, isn't it?
It's true, it's correct. But I think when you start to exercise and you have to start balancing these muscles, correct your posture, when you notice it, that it's changed.
Over time, can you do it? I mean,
You
can you
can.
sit up straight? I mean, I'm a sloucher myself, even sitting on this couch for hours. You know, I
Right.
mean, I found myself kind of doing this. You have to consciously think, sit up straight.
You do, you do. And once you get these balance of your muscles more in tune, you're more likely to have more healthier muscles, better perfusion to your muscles, and also better perfusion to your extremities as well. And that can help relieve some of the pain that you feel.
What's the most common injury you see on the body?
One of the most common injuries I see is tendinitis in the thumbs and the back of the hand, especially from the office workers. And now I'm seeing it more with the texters as well.
Wow.
And I also see individuals who, from pressing their palms on the desktops when they're using the computers, or mechanics or laborers who have to really get into these very difficult positions,
Yeah.
and they're putting a lot of pressure on their nerves.
Does it affect older people more, would you say, or is it young people just as susceptible to it?
I think older people more in general, just because I think they're a little bit more prone to arthritis. They've already have arthritis, and some of that can cause inflammation already, and that causes inflammation to surrounding structures.
Wow. Okay, so now that we're wrapping up here, what's your final tip?
My final tip, well, I would basically say I think one of the greatest answers is really frequent rest. It doesn't have to be long periods of rest, 30 seconds at the minimum.
Take a break.
Take a break from what you're doing. Let your body relax. Stay hydrated is another factor I think that really contributes to helping people. And just focus, once you have that pain, you have to relieve that pain very early, because if it gets out of control, it becomes much more difficult to treat.
Okay, Dr. Mark Kaye, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Don't forget to check out the Shands Jacksonville Twitter page.